Good evening. My name is Caitlin Ireland, and today I'm going to be talking about how people communicate their emotions. Have you ever gone to a funeral and seen someone celebrating in a room full of grieving people? Probably not, because that's not how our culture has taught us how to act in that situation. Or have you ever laughed at a part in a movie that no one else has laughed at before? Probably. That is something more intimate that you probably taught yourself to do through experiences. Or have you ever not expressed your emotions because of your fear of hurting someone, or your fear of how you look to society and other people? Probably as well. Communicating our emotions is something we inherit through all different types of ways and reasonings, some personal and some because society told us to. Our emotions and how they are conveyed are all shaped through personal experiences. Our fear of society and how they perceive us, or how society has taught us how to feel and what is right to feel in certain situations. Today I'll be covering how people define and communicate their emotions through framing rules, feeling rules, and I will also touch on why people may not express emotions. My first main point is framing rules. Framing rules define the emotional tones of a situation. Framing rules tend to be broad. For example, they're like the bold heading of an article you're about to read. It is the main topic of a specific situation. Depending on how you were raised, the framing rules may vary. Just depends on your tone and atmosphere, which was all stated by Julia T. Wood in an article titled Impersonal Communication in 2010. So an example of framing rules is when you think of death, what three adjectives come to mind? Now everyone may think of different words, but I guarantee they're all sad ones. It's not like it is impossible to celebrate death. Some cultures do, actually, such as the Irish choose to make it a happy occasion. For us average Americans, it's usually a time to mourn and grieve. We are taught that from the beginning that funerals are a sad occasion, so we make it one. In cultures all around the world, some funerals are sad, some are happy, and some don't even celebrate them at all. These rules are how you are supposed to feel and act during a situation. While these invisible rules prevent you from acting a certain way towards an event or in a situation, it does not mean you cannot act how you please. It is just odd and unusual. These rules do not mean you cannot change the way you act or your mood and emotions toward things. A person can act how they want. So now that I have covered framing rules, let me move on to my next point, which is feeling rules. So feeling rules tell us what we have the right to feel or what we are expected to feel in certain situations. They're more specific and more individualistic rather than being community-based. That was also stated in Julia T. Wood's article in Interpersonal Communications in 2010. So contrary to framing rules being compared to the bold heading, feeling rules are more like the bullet points under the main heading, so they're more specific branches. That was stated in an article by Andy Schmidt in Emotions and Interpersonal Communications in 2012. So an example of feeling rules is, say you're in a movie and you start laughing and realize no one else is. That falls under the feeling rules category. Or another example is when you're in class talking about something very touchy and sensitive and someone cries and you don't. It is clear to say that emotions like these are something personal. Similar to framing rules, feeling rules are emotions that are developed through experiences, such as love, trust, anxiety, and happiness. To go further into that, an example is, say you have been a victim of something like love or trust, and it's gone negatively, like you've recently gotten your heart broken or your significant other has recently cheated on you. When you watch, see, or hear about these types of situations, the individual is most likely to react in all sorts of ways, just depending on their experiences with those topics. Now that I have discussed feeling rules, let me move on to my next point, which is why people may not express their emotions. So one reason we may not express our emotions are because of social expectations. Furthermore, these expectations shape our feelings and how we express them based on how society shapes and expresses them. So we feel we cannot express ourselves in a certain way because we will stand out. Another reason we may not express our emotions is because of vulnerability. In that case, we do not want to ruin our reputation or give others information that could change how they act towards us or their opinions towards us. We may not express our emotions because we want to protect others. We could be afraid to hurt or upset other people when we act a certain way or feel a certain way about someone or something. Lastly, a reason we may not express our emotions are for social and professional purposes. It may be inappropriate to act or feel some way at a certain time and place based on your specific role in society. All of those 4 points were also in an article Julia T. Woods wrote titled Interpersonal Communications in 2010. So in conclusion, we may communicate our emotions in many different ways for many different reasons. Because of our culture and how we're raised, our personal experience or views, or fear of hurting our reputation and other people. So to recap on what I talked about earlier, framing rules are the emotional tone and how we're raised to act in a specific situation. Feeling rules are more a personal act. It's how we feel towards a situation that have affected us or led us to believe this is how we should act through a more intimate source other than a broad society. And our third is reasons we do not express our emotions at all. Because of how we feel society will look at us, expectations of society, our vulnerability, fear of protecting others, or staying professional. Overall, everyone communicates their emotions differently based on a variety of different reasons, with all being completely different. And that's it.